So here comes the fundamental unit of life, part 2, in which we are mainly talking about cell membrane and cell wall. So these are the contents. Let's see what is plasma membrane. Ye dekho, this is plasma membrane, and the cell, it consists of 3 parts. So let's see the parts of cells: the plasma membrane, the nucleus, and the cytoplasm. If we consider the cell, this and this. So this is the plasma membrane, this is the nucleus, and this is the cytoplasm. This part means except the nucleus, the part which is there inside the cell, that is called the cytoplasm. There is one more term, beta, all of you should know this term, and that is called protoplasm. Whatever is present inside the cell, including the nucleus, that is called protoplasm, right? Now here comes the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is made up of 2 layers of phospholipids, and inside that you can see here are the protein molecules which are embedded in it. Then comes this functioning of the plasma membrane. Always remember, carbon dioxide gas and oxygen gas both enter or go out from the cell by the process of diffusion, but water moves inside and outside of the cell by the process of osmosis. What are the different functions of plasma membrane? The plasma membrane, it separates the contents of the cell from its surroundings. It regulates the entry and exit of the substances, maintains shape of the cell. You have seen there are so many different types of cells in our body. This shape is given by the plasma membrane, and it protects the cell contents. Attachment to other cells allows flexibility to the structure of the cell. If the cell has to change its shape, like that in the case of RBC, RBC has to squeeze in very thin capillaries also. So that is done because of the flexibility of the plasma membrane. Then cell to cell communication is also done by it. Let's see the diffusion process. In the diffusion process, the main thing which you have to remember is that CO2 and O2, their movement inside the cell and outside the cell is because of diffusion. More molecules, if there are on one side of the plasma membrane, then these molecules, they move on the other side of the plasma membrane by the process of diffusion. Now let's see the osmosis. Osmosis takes place through a semi-permeable membrane, a very important thing to remember in osmosis. Then the second thing which you have to remember is that it is the movement of water from its higher concentration to its lower concentration. Semi-permeable membrane is that membrane which is permeable to only few substances. Semi. You can see the osmosis process going on here, and these water molecules, they are passing from one side of the cell to another side of the cell by osmosis. Here comes the hypertonic, isotonic and hypotonic solution. Let's first of all see the hypertonic solution. If there is a cell, say for example this is the cell, and it is kept in a solution of sugar which is having very large amount of sugar, then what will happen? This cell, it will lose water and it will become small in size. So if the cell is of this size in the beginning, to keep it in hypertonic solution, it will become smaller, and this process is called exosmosis. When we consider a hypotonic solution, then the cell, this is the cell, and the surroundings of the cell, they are having more water. So then what will happen? The water will get inside the cell and the cell will swell. Say if the cell is there in the hypotonic solution of this type, then it will become larger in size. In isotonic solution, the concentration of both inside the cell and outside the cell is same. And in this case, the cell will be of the same shape. जैसी है, it will remain as it is. Right? I hope it is clear now. Now let's see this diagram by the help of which we will be able to understand the condition of the cell in hypertonic, hypotonic and isotonic. So in case of hypertonic, the cell will shrink. See, it is looking so sad. In case of hypotonic, the cell will swell. And cytolysis can occur, means the cell can burst also. In case of isotonic, the cell remains same. Thus, you can see this happy and cheerful face of the cell. Now here comes endocytosis. It means engulfing. It is divided into three categories. If the solid particles are taken in by the folding of the cell membrane, then it is called phagocytosis. If the liquid material is taken in by the folding of the cell membrane, then it is called pinocytosis. And if some of the materials are taken in by the help of receptors, then it is called receptor mediated endocytosis. Taking in, endocytosis. Throwing out the material of the cell, exocytosis. Now comes the cell wall. The cell wall, it is made up of cellulose and it provides strength. And because of this cell wall only, the cell does not burst in the hypotonic solution. This is very, very important. Just now you have seen in the previous slide that the cytolysis process occurs. That means the bursting of the cell occurs. That occurs in animal cells. But in plant cells, the bursting of the cell or the cytolysis does not take place. The cell wall protects it. Next is the plasmolysis, a very, very important topic related to the plant cells. Is that, say, for example, this is a plant cell. And it has got a cell wall also. Right? Now, it is kept in a hypertonic solution. So, what will happen to this cell? This cell, the cell wall will remain as it is. But the cell will shrink with the cell membrane. Nucleus, cell membrane, all will shrink. And a gap will be produced between the cell membrane and the cell wall. So this process is called plasmolysis, which is seen in the plant cell. Here are the questions. Try to do these questions.